Another video, and today what I wanted to talk to you all about is just kind of a update, but also a really good reference to understand what I've been going through and how that can help you out, right, for the future and your future self, and it can give you a perspective, a change in perspective in your mind. So what I wanted to talk about, right, is because obviously I haven't been posting like I was a couple weeks ago, and for me that had to take some accountability, right, and vulnerability, and I needed to put myself on the center stage and really take a look at what I was doing and what I was doing wrong. And for some of us, I feel like we don't take the time, especially when we're going through negative situations and different scenarios that affect our life. We don't really take the time to evaluate what we're going through and evaluate the decisions that we make that alter the course of our life, right? So for me, what happened was I was locked in, completely locked in, reading, journaling, not even just those things, but in terms of building my mental state, my mental being, my mental health. I was doing the things I needed to do, and I was staying disciplined. I was building my discipline. I was getting greater habits, and I was replacing my bad habits with very good habits. And that's the step one, right? And that's what I want to get to for today is you have to be able to get to where you want to be, to achieve your goals, to not look back in the past, which we all do because we're human, but to not look back on the past and regret your life is by taking that first step and going step by step instead of trying to take shortcuts. And for me, it was not really trying to take shortcuts, but it was, for me, staying consistent and not being distracted and getting pulled off those stairs. So for me, a big thing was I started smoking again. And there was this one night, my really good friend that I used to play basketball with back in high school ended up coming back home, and they were like, oh, let's smoke, like, it's just gonna be one night, like, whatever. So I ended up doing it, and the thing was, it was a good time, but then I slowly but surely started to get back on the weed. And instead of putting my energy into good habits and putting my energy into things that I was doing, even though it was hard, even though I didn't enjoy every single second of what I was doing, it still was creating me to be a better version of myself, which we should all be looking to do, right? We should all be looking to create good habits to become better versions of ourselves. But for me, instead, I took that one experience and I let that action take over what I was doing. Like, once you let those bad habits creep back in, they start to take over again. And instead of me, which I was going from step 1 to 2 to 3, I got to step 4. Because I let that bad habit creep back in, it brought me all the way back to step 1. And that's the thing. That's why it's so important to be consistent. That's why it's so important to be disciplined, is because when you let those bad habits take over, it brings you all the way back down to square one. It brings you back all the way to the beginning. It's like when you're playing Candyland and you get the death card that brings you all the way back to the beginning, bro. Like, you were just about to get to Candyland, and now you're all the way back into the chocolate mud because you wanted to skip the course. You didn't want to just stay on course. You wanted to skip, and you wanted to let distractions take over. So my first step on how to handle this, which for me was how I'm handling it with talking with you all right now, is because that first step is to be vulnerable. being vulnerable and taking accountability and highlighting the problem that you're going through and the bad habits that you have, which we all do because we're human. These bad habits, they creep in, it happens. But if you can have the self-awareness to acknowledge what you're going through, what bad habits you have, if it's smoking, porn, gaming, excessive dopamine spiking activities, right? Pointing it out, understanding that you are human and that these things happen is the first step, literally the first step to improving yourself and getting back on course to get to where you want to be. For me, my big problem was, and not fear, but something that I need to work on, was being able to talk to you all in front of the camera, being able to express my feelings, my vulnerability, my thoughts into words, but not just words, because words can be empty, but more of a story and a guideline that you could follow, right? So for me, it was being able to talk to you. And what happens is, like, the smoking is suppressing my growth to talk to you in front of the camera and be vulnerable. Why? Because when I was smoking, I didn't even want to turn the camera on. I didn't even have the energy to talk to y'all, because why? Everything takes energy. All of this stuff, we all transfer through energy. So having that energy is so important. And what those bad habits do is they drain your energy from you. They take away your energy. They do. You can sit there and you could act like that's not true and it doesn't affect you, and you have the energy to be able to do what you need to do. But if you're being real with yourself, your bad habits are draining your energy. So it's very important that you can protect that energy from yourself so you can get to that next step, right? So the second step, the second point to my problem is, which is going to help you as a solution, is after you take accountability, after you understand and start being vulnerable, it's now about being consistent through that time, okay? So it's being consistent with your words, being consistent with your actions, being consistent with your habits, replacing those bad habits. If you're smoking, jerking off, whatever you're doing, if you can replace those negative habits with positive ones, like go to church, journal, read, take a walk, work out, anything like that, even just meditate, do whatever you need to do to stay in the moment, right, to get your work done, that is going to elevate you to become the best version of yourself. It's going to elevate you to be who you want to be, because your future self relies on your past self and what you're doing in the past, what you're doing in those moments, right? So that moment, those moments where you don't feel like giving it your all, you don't feel like getting that task done, you don't feel like working out. Well, guess what? Those moments are going to affect you in your future. And that's what happened to me. Like, I could sit here and be like, oh yeah, I wish I like, if I just kept doing this, if I kept doing that, I'd be on step 20. But guess what? I didn't. And that's okay. That's okay. The fact that I can even acknowledge that, right? The fact that we can even acknowledge our past and understand what we needed to do, and that we can still do it today, is extremely valuable to your self-development and your self-growth. So instead of looking back on the past and acknowledging that I could have done this, could have done that, what you need to do is really look at what you want to do with your life. Create that purpose, create that drive for yourself, even when you don't feel like it, because there's going to be so many countless times where you don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like getting that assignment done. You don't feel like getting that work done. You don't feel like creating your business, starting your business. If you're down on your business, pushing through and getting the work done that needs to get done so you can be profitable, right? There's so many times when I was trading, there was days I did not want to trade. There was days I didn't feel like studying the markets. There was days I didn't feel like getting notes done to understand the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis of companies. But I still got it done anyways. Why? Because I had that purpose, which is the last step, your purpose, finding your purpose, having that purpose to do what is necessary to grow in your life. So again, if you're going through a distraction, if you have bad habits and you're trying to change your life for the better and create the life that you want, it all comes down to those three things. And an update for you guys to me is, like, I want you all to understand that I am going to be posting vulnerable content, even though it's going to be more of trading and learning how to trade. It's also going to have a mixture of vulnerability, personal updates, so you can understand my process as a trader, right? So it's very important that at the end of the day, don't my fault. Don't let these negative habits take over and completely submerge who you are and what you want to do. Because there will be a time, it's not if, but when, if you just keep giving it your best, everything will work out. And that's why I say is, like, don't, just because you see someone on step 20, just because you were on step 5 and then you have to go back. Failing is part of the process. These things, it's all part of the process. It takes time. But I guarantee you that if you follow those rules, if you understand yourself to the point where you can have the accountability, you can understand and pick yourself apart from those problems, that you can grow. Like, it will happen. Like, we're not perfect. There's so many things that I do wrong, and I could pick myself on it. I could give myself depression because of it. But no, the only way to move is forward, right? So it's a matter of, again, me personally, the smoking, all of these negative habits that I was doing affects you and your future self and where you want to be in life. So forget about the past, forget about even the future. Just in the moment, think about what you can do in this moment that will better yourself, that will help you out in the long run. All right? And personally for me, I'm going to be uploading content. I'm going to be uploading on my Instagram, so go check that out. My Discord, I'm going to be more active in my Discord. Again, if you want to join the Discord right now, it's free. Once I start getting traction on that, I will start to have people pay to be members of the Discord. Again, I give out valuable information. You can also see my trades. You can watch me trade live, yada yada, all this stuff. And why it's valuable is because the way I trade, you can watch me trade live and learn from it, because I trade retail stocks. I'm not trading forex, I'm not trading futures, I'm not doing options. You can actually learn from how I'm trading. I'm in the process of making my videos. I'll have over 75 plus videos on how to learn the technicals and fundamentals of trading. And yeah, I'm excited to keep going through this process, even though it hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been what I planned, which is okay, because your plan will never go according to plan, especially throughout life. It's not going to go according to plan. But again, if you're still watching the video at this point, extremely, like, bomb from my heart, because I know this video is shit. I've been all over the place. I've been scrambled. Thank you for just listening to me and trying to understand my process, who I am, and also hopefully, like, I helped you out with anything that I've been saying. So again, thank you for watching the video. I'm going to be uploading more. It's going to be consistent. You're going to see a disciplined version of myself, and because, like, this video isn't just for all of y'all, it's also for me too. Like, I'm gonna be real with that. Like, I need to make this video for myself. And again, I appreciate all the support, and I can't wait to keep going on with this journey. And if any of you want to join, just, we're all here. I'm all here to help everyone out. We're all here to grow together and be the best versions of ourselves we can every day, right? So I love you, God loves you, and peace.